sunny Sunday, and Joseph is talking about his dream.
So yeah, I remember
Sunny
seeing,
Monday, sorry.
I remember seeing some lady that was she had this, was doing this. She'd been doing this nursing job, but she was doing something else now at the time. The I was in the office, like park area. There was some kind of exercise going on. I don't think I was part of it, but it had to do with apprehending fugitives. Yeah, that's what came to me when I was trying to rewrite the thing, because I was like, why would As I walked by, Bill Gates was walking close to the group.
Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, get him!
Yeah.
And the people just started chasing.
Yeah.
And he was running away. They got hold of him. Two guys got hold of him.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised because I didn't have anything to do, but the authority and the confidence I said in with my voice, I just said, yeah, he needs to get it.
Yeah.
And they just caught his ass. You know when you pick up a big heavy suitcase, like, they carried him like a suitcase.
Yeah.
It's like, he was like this. Someone, had his hands here, like this. Pick up like this.
Yeah.
His underpants just showing.
Yeah.
And I felt, in the dream, it felt so very, very good. There was part of me that was like, shit. I mean, he could be. I mean, obviously he's not innocent. We know he's not innocent. But so I mean, in the dream, there was no evidence in the dream that he'd done anything. But it's just that we knew who he was and he had to go.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I've caused the dream. Because I mean, there was but obviously, I mean. To me, it felt a bit like I could have been just, oh yeah, this guy doesn't look very nice. Let's just kick his ass, I mean, you don't do that. The hero doesn't do that. You understand?
Mm.
And part of me was like, But yeah, they grabbed him up and brought him back to the group because they were practicing apprehending him. That's what I remember. It felt good, But let's see. Yeah, I'm about to finish reading. Let me just. So we walked. Bill Gates walked by and was walking close to the group, and they had been. They didn't seem to notice him at first. The people in the group, they didn't seem to notice him at first. And I said loudly, "Get him!" And it was like the spell was broken. And that was important in the dream. That when I was writing, that was important because, Bill Gates, get him! Oh shit, yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
The spell was broken. They chased him and caught him and hauled him up by the pants and brought him back down. Brought him to the group. No one knew who gave the order.
Okay.
No one knew who gave the order. But it was me. I knew I gave the order, but nobody knew where the order came from. They just obeyed him.
Yeah.
Or nobody knew who gave the order, where it came from.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It's just like as if I gave a command and then of course, you understand?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially the last part that nobody knew who gave the order.
Yeah.
And or where it came from, and the way I broke the spell.
Yeah.
Because these are specific things that came up in the dream that when I was writing it down, that just seemed important.
Well, it is interesting how we tend to think that there are rules and regulations that it has a certain authority, but it's only because we allow it to be like that. Those rules is actually spells somehow.
Yeah.
That keeps people in check.
Yeah.
And
but pay your taxes.
Yeah, exactly. And when we realize that those rules and spells doesn't contain the bigger principles, and then when we realize that they will even hurt us because we through those spells do bad things onto other people. For example, the people in uniform, when they go around and do things according to those rules and regulations that if they were not uniformed would put them in prison.
Yeah,
that
we were
that
talking
would,
about that just yesterday, you know.
yeah, that would then I mean, it's just because they take on a couple of clothes, it's like then they don't have to care about the universal principles anymore. But in fact, through their actions,
certain clothes
yeah,
that you wear
yeah.
will allow you to go in any place.
Or for example,
for example,
even if you're religious, suddenly you take on a mantelpiece, and then suddenly you have certain rules that you abide by. But in fact, you could be naked and do the same thing. You know, it doesn't, and just because people don't see who you are, you can still abide by those rules. Yes. And if you start thinking about your own actions and how they will affect others, and how that will come back onto you, like do unto others
that you be done by, yeah.
Yeah. Everything that you do for another living being, someone somewhere,
You do it to you.
because you're open for that to happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's yeah.
So
That's I mean, I've been thinking about that very much, especially when it comes to the whole Israel and Palestine question.
yeah,
Because they say, oh, someone did this to us, now we're going to do it to them. No, you know, you don't pass on.
obviously they're doing it, but
You don't pay forward something negative.
well, if they do, there's going to be consequences.
Well, of course,
behind
there's
it.
a consequence,
And it's going to keep on going until
and
someone.
I mean, even if they were to say, oh well, someone did that to us, we can do it back to someone. Yeah. No, it's not. You do unto others, right?
Yeah.
But someone has done unto you. You're not. You know. Yours should be. What should come out from you first of all must be positive. That's part of it. But if someone does something negative to you, that doesn't mean you have the right to go and do something negative to somebody else. That is inversion. That is.
They have the right to do it, but they
no, they're not really.
They because if they wouldn't have the right to do it.
Well, okay, I hear what you're saying. In the Bible, it says eye for an eye. It does. And that's Old Testament. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that people just don't. One of the things that people do not examine in the thing, it says an eye for an eye. Okay. It doesn't say 2 eyes for 1 eye or 6 eyes for 1. Do you understand? If you talk about the proportion, you know, the proportion.
Yeah.
So it's also a proportionate response.
Yeah.
Remember what we were talking about yesterday? About in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, if somebody gets killed, then they can take a person. You understand?
Yeah.
It's also a measured response.
Yeah.
But the Israelis, when it comes to, I mean, I don't want to say Israelis because it's not general, it's not about all Israelis. But their response is not measured. They are, well, they measured in their sense, but it is not.
No, it's documented.
But it's disproportionate.
Yeah, you know, this is the same as I understand it. This is the same principle. Those people are naked.
Naked.
Yes, in their original form, they don't have clothes. They don't come born with clothes.
No, of course not.
No. So they are not Palestinians. They are not Israelis. They are human.
Yeah.
That's the only form that they can take, really. That is well, we call it human. We can call it whatever. Yeah. You know, Abel. We can call it Adam. We can call it whatever. I mean, Adam used to be a name for a body. Adamo is body. So, as I understood it, and so those people have the opportunity to become whatever, really depending very much on where they grow up. If they would have grown up in Sweden or in America or with the natives, they would have probably taken on another form, you know, culturally.
Yeah,
but now, because they're in Israel and because someone is constantly feeding them
hatred
things
and nonsense.
From a so-called Bible that is telling them it's okay to kill those people because they're not human. You know?
Yeah.
And those people, because they believe that, because they take on that magic wand, you know.
And they have that oh, we're special, we're
They do
God's
it,
chosen
so
people.
they
Oh,
take themselves the right to do it, but in fact
they don't have the right.
their actions is documented in their mind, and their soul is being judged by their action.
They will reap. They will. At the moment, I mean, I wouldn't want this to happen because I know that there's some good Israelis or Jews. That's another thing. The confusion of the whole, you know, the confusion or the mix. They mix up the whole Jew Israeli thing. You don't know. Is Israelis, Jews, are they one and the same? Is it a political movement or is it a religion? You understand? But the people hiding behind it, those ones that are just, because I don't believe that all of them have the same state of mind. There is a bunch of them that Zionists, let's call them Zionists because that's what they are. They're the ones who seem to be more intent on maneuvering the political face.
Well, it feels like there is one thing that is that can make people so stubborn and so stock-minded.
Yeah.
And it's when they believe in religion. Somehow, when they start believing in some bigger truths, and there comes a leading figure telling them how God wants them to be, then it's like they stop having responsibility for their own actions. They start like, okay, so God tells us, when in fact it may be the word, and the word is forwarded like a magic wand inside of their brain, and it takes them over with the emotional level of understanding. And so they don't consciously reflect upon their own actions anymore.
No, they don't take responsibility. They don't. I mean, I get so it's so frustrating to see people.
But it's the same here.
Who just don't want to take responsibility for their actions.
It's the same everywhere. It's like we went on a bus yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, and they have this screens, tele screens everywhere on the buses in Värmland.
Oh yeah, they have them.
And
brainwashing into just give you 6 to 10 minutes of brainwashing every day when you use the bus.
And they had commercial for a new weapon that they're sending down to Ukraine.
They had a commercial for a weapon.
Yes. Now we've produced the latest technology within, and they called it something like whatever, I don't remember. And we've sent eight units down to Ukraine. We congratulate, it's like.
So
what?
It's almost Sweden used to be a neutral country.
This is complete mind game. This is completely changing the ways that.
Why do they? The other thing is, why do they need to be? It's like, have you read 1984?
Yes, I know, it's newspeak. Yeah. And it's in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
It's going on everywhere, and you're just sitting. No, I'm just gonna go to my job. And after a while I'm going to be, we have this tank now and it's really, really good. It killed 150 people yesterday. Yeah! Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You have to laugh about it because it's so crazy that people don't see it.
But you also disgust. And hypocrisy is disgusting. It's a disgusting amount of the hypocrisy and disconnect.
So and when you see these things on television, and you don't question what you see, then you're a big part of the problem.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not reacting towards those tax money that the state is taking from you to produce these weapons and send them down to Ukraine, send them down to Palestine, send them down to Israel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in America. And
if you were, if you understand that those money that you give away freely, you would never give out freely if you didn't have that system. I mean, how many times do you give you 60% of your money to a homeless guy?
Yeah, yeah.
How many times has it ever happened?
I mean, nobody's even talking in Sweden about the increasing homeless problem. There is an increasing homeless problem because more and more people are becoming broke. You know, more and more people are just
And that's
getting,
it's because of the COVID hoax and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But these people need, I mean, yeah.
And also there's companies who made a lot of money
Oh, yeah.
buying up small and medium-sized business
Businesses, yeah, I'm
companies.
sure there were
When
plenty.
oh, so you're a part of the problem. I'm a part of the problem. Joseph is a part of the problem. We're all a part. And the good thing,
As long as we let them keep on doing their stupid shit.
and the good thing is that we can repent. We can take a step back inside of us and see what do I contribute to the world where I'm located. Yeah. Do I react? Do I go to the? I mean, one thing that is possible to do is that you can go to the Värmlandstrafik, you can go to the commercial responsible, and you can tell them that that is not okay, and you can boycott even, or you can raise it up in media. You can confront. You can have a camera. You can go and interview those fuckers. You know.
Yeah,
You can
more citizen journalism. That's the thing,
how much money do they pay from your taxes to do that commercial?
which is bullshit money, you know, which is just. Yeah, there's one thing I wanted to say is that one thing, I mean, I was talking to Pinchers, you know, when I was talking to Pinchers, and you know, it's like, say, you know, when I was staying with you guys, for example, let's say, you know, it wasn't so frequent, but we could tell it was grinding towards something was happening, was building up, and it was happening. You understand? I mean, and this was also, you know, I mean, you know, when let's say if you compare it to when Donald Trump was president, Donald Trump, it was like every couple of weeks he'd say something that would people be like, that's crazy. Now, anybody in their rightful mind would say, okay, well, you know, Donald Trump, well, obviously he was a better president than Joe Biden.
I don't know.
No, hang on. I'm not saying quality because I don't think Donald Trump is a good president at all. You know, the fact that the media was having to go at him is just another way to say, so, oh, well, if the media is going after him, then he must be good. You know, I don't look at that either. I look at the character. I'm not even going to go into who should be the next president.
Well,
but I just, what I wanted to say was that there's a tempo to the way these things have been coming. And it's been increasing and increasing. It's increasing even more since, you know, after Biden it started increasing, and then there was the Ukraine war, and then you still got Biden in the background, and the whole COVID fiasco, and then now you got this Ukraine war came up, and then now it's this thing, and you know, if we were going at 80 kilometers an hour under during the Corona, it's like 160 now. You know, and the human brain, that's the thing. Human beings, just normal human beings trying to live their normal life. It's not so much about, you can't even get out of the arena in order to just focus and try and just, you know, catch up with yourself. You know, you barely have time to process all the bullshit going on, you know? And that also is deliberate because you don't have time to relax. And they can do what they want because they're passing through those bills that they want to do to make everything legal. You understand? I mean, there's something else that's been going on. This Nuremberg 2. Oh, you heard that Rainer Fulmek, by the way, got arrested?
You got arrested?
Yeah, I think. The lawyer. He's Rainer Fulmek.
Rainer Fulmek. I put up a video about him with him and David Icke a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
In Rebel Forum.
Yeah, I think you're right. He was arrested in Germany. He's the lawyer, right? Rainer Fulmek is the.
He's the lawyer.
Yeah. They arrested him. They tried to, you know, they couldn't find anything to get him. So they the company he set up, or this movement he set up to do the thing, something to do with the money, where the money went. And they said, oh, well, if he found an inconsistency, then they tried to say, oh, well, he was trying to do this. And they just accused him of trying to either steal or embezzle the money. It's not true, but it's just to slow him down.
And these things is um, the question is always where are you when you're listening to something? How do you react? And what do you base your understandings on? And if you haven't questioned who you are, where you're staying at this moment, and what state of mind you're in, then you won't be able to see if you're in a state of mind that is not really you. You understand?
Yeah, yeah. I want to say something that.
So there has to be some kind of a shock. There has to be something putting you out of the state of mind where you're in order for you to see who you really are. Agree?
You mean like with all these news articles and?
Well, for example, I read the book Biggest Secret, The Biggest Secret. It came out in 1999,
Okay.
and he started talking about that the real owner of America is not American.
No, it's Britain. It's Britain.
Britain
Yeah.
and Rome, and when I started
the people behind it are descendants, what they call the descendants from the Roman Empire, or whatever.
Yeah,
and now they're trying to say that I read somewhere that they were trying to say one of the emperors of Rome was a black man.
Yeah, so when someone knows there is a bigger secret or truth behind your situation, and you don't understand that, then the only way for you to figure that out is for you to put in the truer state of mind, and the truer state of mind is that you don't own anything. You know, it's not your apartment. You live in a situation where probably most of you anyway are lending money that is borrowing money that is not yours, but they are owned by the state, which is an organization. It's a company
created out of nothing.
Created out of words, spells that you believe in, because you're afraid that you're going to lose what is not yours. And if you then are confronted with another human who says that it's not your apartment and throws you out on the streets, that's when you get to that understanding. And if you can't do anything about it because he's much more forceful than you are, then you're in big trouble. But you're also in the bigger understanding.
I'd like to say something. I think I might have mentioned this before. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but I think it's important that people understand a few things. Our planet, this place, this beautiful blue ball that we call home, it's been in a bad situation for a very, very long time. Okay.
So we can't do anything about that.
No. I'm going to give you what I'm trying to do is give you perspective. Okay. Since the last great flood, okay?
Yeah.
The last great catastrophe. I don't know how many floods there were, how many catastrophes we went through, okay? But, since the times of Noah, you understand? It's been in a bad...
How do you know he was...
No, Noah himself had several names.
You know it's called the history?
Yeah, it's history.
Yeah, but what is his story based on?
Yeah, his story, you know what I mean?
It's a story.
Yeah. History...
Yeah. And most of those stories are symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way for you to understand things from them is by you understanding that it's inside of you. That is a reflection of something that you can enlighten to.
Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is that we were on a good path prior to, during, you might have heard of Atlantis.
Atlantis?
Yeah.
Even Platon talks about that.
Yeah, Plato.
Or Aristoteles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Atlantis was like, I don't know where. I think the people. I'm not sure if the people actually who populated Atlantis, if they were from Earth, but they've been on our planet for a long time. But I think something happened when Mars got ruined, and the people from Mars, they came down and they lived on our planet, but they were what I understand is they were refugees and they were allowed to stay on the nearest planet because they destroyed their planet, and they had developed to a certain state whereby they could have, or they were,
Sumerian.
they,
Sumerian.
yeah, I don't know. You can throw the Anunnaki in there as well. But what happened was that we had a established
The clay tablets.
civilization on the planet, and the people who were there, from Atlantis, they even knew about. They were, I think, they said they were even aware of um, what was it, Pangea,
Pangaea.
yeah, Lemuria. But whether they were there at that time, I don't know. Whether they were just observing the planet and they knew, okay, when this happens, we'll come over. Anyway, what happened was that after these refugees came from Mars, there was something to do with the fact that they wanted to try and put the planet in a certain direction, or they wanted to have more say about how things were going, and they messed up something. Now, when the ship got destroyed that time, there's a guy from Atlantis who survived. His name was Thoth. He built the first pyramid. What you have to understand is that because we had developed a certain level, but we had not achieved the breakthrough.
How does that affect me now?
I'm trying to say, you see, because it's cyclic.
Yeah.
You see, if we had successfully evolved,
Yeah.
it's about a certain amount of awareness. Okay.
Yeah. So the people fucked up or
Oh,
ruined their planet, and now they go into the next one and tries to ruin that one.
Well,
Is that what you're
they
saying?
wanted to take over because they came by, messed up our shit.
Yeah.
The good people of Atlantis that would have been there to make sure that Earth prospered.
Yeah.
They got destroyed in the cataclysm.
Yeah.
There was only
Yeah.
a few survivors.
Yeah.
And so they took over. But Thoth, who was an immortal,
Yeah.
he wasn't going to be allowed to incarnate back onto that planet as he was, I suppose. That's my understanding. So he, even though he was immortal, he incarnate on other planets. But he built the pyramid, the first one. The other two, the pyramids are kind of like energy focusing devices.
Some people say that they used to be nuclear energy power plants.
Well, they are power plants. They do focus.
There
they
was
can
water
focus.
going around it, and
Yeah.
they were like a pressure chamber, and when the water came up, it started, producing energy somehow.
But the machine,
Well,
the pyramids
I
have
don't
been damaged over the years because nobody really properly understood them, and people used to put bodies in them and stuff.
Yeah.
The other two on the side, they were probably tombs, but they weren't built by the original builder of the first.
But okay, so well, I guess that if you start believing in something that you didn't want to believe in before, maybe you change a little bit. But at the same time, how all of these things, how can that come down to the human factor of creating war?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that we've been in a bad place for a very long time because of that. Now, there are people who try to learn to understand the speakers of this pyramid, and you don't even fully understand it because they try to use it as a top down. The one at the top and the body at the bottom. So it's not necessarily about that. The pyramid was built for that, but the way they organized shit. However, what's been going on really is that there's a certain amount of time that passes before there is a kind of shift going on. Okay, periodically the Earth needs to adjust. If its occupants are not doing the right thing the way it's supposed to be done, there might be something that will shake them off. If you there will.
Well, so from a collective point of view, the Earth might shake humans off. Yeah.
From a certain point of view, but it's not that specifically. You see, the other thing is that we've had in our mind, we've had in our consciousness the idea of at a certain time certain things will change.
Mm.
And one of these times was year 2000.
Mm.
That's when everybody thought that the Messiah would come back or something. But it's not.
You know, it's quite funny because if we say that the year 2000 the Messiah will come back.
Yeah, people believed that for a long time, you know.
Yeah, but how do anyone know that that was the year zero was when Jesus was born?
There you go. You know,
I mean, it's fictional time for fuck's sake, you know.
But here's
It's
another. But
numbers.
here, yeah, it is numbers.
It's numbers.
But
And
there's
some people say that there is more than nine.
more than
Nine numbers.
Mm.
Well, and we used to have 7 numbers before.
Exactly. I mean,
You
4
know?
numbers was also.
September is 7. October is 8. And so there's so many things that if we break it down and keep a really open mind, then the words will change.
Exactly.
The numbers will change. The perception will change.
Definitely.
Everything will change.
Most definitely.
The living word is not dead anymore.
It's not.
And it's coming when you understand that the words that you hear in your mind, the way you look upon them, is not absolute.
No.
So no scripture, no writings, no telling is absolute. It's only depending on how you define them.
Yeah.
And if you pray or ask inside of yourself, what does it really mean? Then there is something happening.
Yeah.
Like at least that's what I've experienced. That suddenly I have a dialogue with myself. I have a dialogue with the perceptions that I've been fed from other people. You know, that A, B, C, the teacher, and she's taught. And you know, it's funny when you're like 7 or 8 years, and they try to learn you how to read and write. Yes, they put them like trees and stuff, and they make it really nice, but they never tell you that's their true origin. The words are symbols. So they used to be symbolizing trees, for example. A used to be an ox, and it was upside down. Came from the Phoenician culture. So all those things, all those words that you now take as absolute, is just symbols. And the laws that we have in the law book is just symbols. How can they be absolute? They can't, and that's how they manipulate the law all the time.
Most of the laws. I mean, if you look at the 10 Commandments, if you look at the 10 Commandments, when you look at the 10 Commandments, it's just common sense.
Yes, and that's also why they have in the Old Testament something called they have a book where there's old writings, you know, how you used to, alltså, vad heter det nu? Liknelser.
Proverbs?
Proverbs, yeah. Yeah, it's called Proverbs, I think.
Bible.
In the Bible.
Oh yeah, Proverbs.
Yeah. And someone wrote it, you know, someone physically. It wasn't God. It wasn't some, you know, maybe he was inspired by a higher level of awareness, but that's another thing. But they were sitting there writing it, you know, writing it with symbols. And the same is today. Someone is writing it. And when I've been searching and trying to find the origin of the state, of the organizations and all of that, I've come to realize that it's one or a couple of persons agreeing on how to manipulate other people to think like them.
The conference at Nicaea, is that what you're thinking about?
Well, it goes back and back and back. You know, the Knights of Malta, the round table. Well, what is it? It's 9 guys apparently who sit together and plan and on how to make something so it sticks over time. You follow?
Yeah. Um,
So organizations, the state, is a way of manipulating
oh
or,
yeah,
or making people conforming in a certain state of mind over time.
what I wanted to continue to study was that
Stating.
one of the things that there are two things specifically that people might not be properly aware of, if not three. I mean, after 2012, 2012, they said, oh, there was all this frenzy trying to say, oh, the world's going to end in 2012. That didn't happen, but I think 2012 was the beginning of the end of the old paradigm. You understand? That's the way I got it. That's the way I understood.
Have you heard about the Mayan calendar?
Oh yeah, of course.
Or and that they knew that there was an epicenter in the universe, and that
Oh, you mean the galaxy or the universe?
No, in our universe, and where the Earth was circling in that around that galactic center over a period of
26,000 years.
26,000 years.
And that's also part of it. You see, there's special
How
kind
do
of
they
energy.
know?
Well, the Earth is a few million years old, about 2 billion years old. One of the youngest.
How do they know?
Our planet is about 2 billion years old. It has been around.
Who said that?
Our history didn't start yesterday. It's just that we've lost a lot of information.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is that the science thinks it knows everything.
No, I don't think science thinks it. I mean, yeah, science is a way of methodically looking at things.
Always disproves itself.
Yeah, it's supposed to be able to do that.
Truism within science is only true for a couple of years.
But what's going to happen
most
is that
of the time.
what this thing that has been discussed.
Yeah.
This I think it has a lot to do about evolution, and there is basically nobody living today, or any record of it having happened. So there's no precedent.
Yeah.
But what has happened? We have, I think we missed the last bus, basically.
Okay.
You understand? Because of what happened, the cataclysms, and it's also because it's a good thing. You have to have lived a good life to experience it, and so because we had the problem with the people and whatever, and there was the floods and shit. We didn't get that, so now is our second chance. You understand? Or third chance. I don't know how many we missed, but the thing is, according to the calendar, we're entering now into the age of Aquarius, which is supposed to be about knowledge. It's also about water, water carrying knowledge and so on.
I put a link up on Rebel Forum 2 days ago, where there is a professor talking about that the universe is a hologram.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not physical like the way we.
Or a projection, or
the way we see it like that.
Generated. And he can somehow, well, he can't absolutely prove it, but it's
sophisticated. There is a mechanical element to it. It is something that's perpetuated by our participation.
Yes, and like a dream, and now we're so, we started by talking about a dream.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. So we have a lot more. What I was trying to say is that we have a lot more control over this than we think and believe, and that is part of the thing that is going to come to us when if we successfully navigate these.
But only if we take our responsibility back and consciously decide what we look on.
Exactly.
And question what our dream is telling us.
Exactly.
Why is people like Bill Gates,
Klaus Schwab,
dangerous, or well, from my point of view, it's because he's using or his, I mean, it's not him, he's just a puppet of a very, very big machine that has its own agenda.
Yeah, and
regardless of him.
Mm-hmm. The agenda has always been to reduce and enslave humanity, because our full potential is too powerful.
It's just to look around you, what is happening, and you see that more and more minds are taken over by the television
and the technology. See them connected to the iPhones.
They
can't even. Oh, I must tweet this. I must take a selfie.
And
I must get on Twitter and TikTok.
And if Bill Gates wouldn't have existed, there would have been someone else.
Oh, exactly. Oh, definitely.
And they're only used because they have strong desires towards whatever, you know. And the same, as I look upon it, is with all politicians, all big company owners. They all have desires of some sort, and they are afraid of letting go of their so-called power, which is given to them by the big machine. The big machine in itself is the biggest problem, because it needs you for it to survive. It's like a demon that needs human bodies to look upon this world. You know, it only when we invite it, when it gets power. Because we want something. There's all the knowledge in the computer. There's all the knowledge in the mobile. But in my reality, when I've started to do like I do now, going around peace action researching and talking to people everywhere, I've discovered something different. And that's why I want to live simple.
I hear you.
Because there is a bigger network. There's a bigger awareness, consciousness at hand, or around, that I feel the presence of when I go out of my comfort zone, when I start letting go of the things that I thought was so necessary. You know, just having a bag of potatoes, a bag on my shoulders, and just do a walkabout. Just like in a dream.
I need to get to Egypt. That's another thing I know.
So now we've done this reflection, and maybe hopefully even Joseph looks upon this video in the future.
Yeah, no, there's one more thing I wanted to say. People are looking at what's happening in the world today. They're like, oh, when will it end? Oh, yeah. Look, the bullshit, the negativity.
I hope it doesn't end too soon.
No, the negativity.
Because if it ends too soon, then you don't know where you're going to end up.
Okay, the negativity that we experience now, it's not necessarily part of the show, as it were. Okay, because this time when we're coming into this age that we're supposed to be coming into is supposed to be full of love, understanding, peace, knowledge that is imparted, that will become, an everyday thing. You know, people.
That's also like saying, okay, I haven't done anything bad in previous life, so I don't want to learn.
No. Listen, like we know how electricity is made. We know how. Have you heard about? This? There's a phenomenon they call the 100 monkey phenomenon.
There's the 100 monkey syndrome.
Yeah. Everybody, it's like something that becomes common knowledge. Okay.
Yeah.
This has probably happened with human beings on a few occasions, and it happens quite. You can see things that go viral on TikTok. It's something like that. Yeah. But this is different. Okay. This is like the 100 monkey thing, but it's
because we're part of something much bigger.
Yeah, exactly. But please let me finish. I don't know what it is, but there is a kind of thing that will be unlocked, most likely in our DNA, that will come with that kind of knowledge and a special kind of awareness, and it will change. It's like opening something, and you see something, and it can't be undone. They've spoken a lot about this great awakening, and I want to tell you something.
There's a video you can see about that. It's called okay, continue.
Okay. So
The Giver.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, we watched it with you.
Yeah.
I watched it with you.
That's what's happening. And that's what's going to happen. And how is that going to come about? Well, it's going to come about when you let the things that you are possessed by go and do some backpacking and find your origin.
This is why I need to go to Nigeria.
Because when you start changing your life is going to change.
This is why I want to travel to Nigeria. I mean, I'm not. I need to go.
You
to
can
Nigeria.
say whatever you like.
Yeah, but I mean, when I get to Nigeria, then I'm gonna start backpacking.
But I look forward.
And then I'll be saying,
that.
"Where are you, my friend?
Yes,
Come here. Let us travel in Africa and you get bitten by those Nigerian mosquitoes."
Okay, good. So it's now day 5 in the 8th period or something. And we say because no one is probably ever going to look at it.
Oh, come on. I want to watch it later on. But here's the thing. So what I'm talking about, this thing that's going to become common knowledge, it's going to affect everybody in a certain way. It's about, because, the event, the people have been talking about the event, I've heard that, but everybody gets affected differently.
Mm-hmm.
This thing that will become common knowledge, I don't know exactly what it is. It's going to be transmitted through the energy sphere, and it has to do with our evolution. And people suddenly realize that they can have these abilities, like communicating telepathically. That's a very organic ability, and there are lots of things that people are going to be able to do or experience being able to do.
Well, the brain or the mind is just a tiny part of the whole body. Yes?
Oh yeah.
And when the whole body is consciously more awakened, that it takes much more responsibility towards itself and listens to its own reactions. And also when the spirit comes in, when the spirit reawakens and starts realizing this is just a dream.
Yeah, it's
a dream within a dream.
Yeah. One of the most funny things is, well, not funny, the strangest thing
and it's based on the
encounter.
5 senses.
Yeah, one of the strangest things you can encounter is that how you can be aware of things in dreams more than you would, you experience something in a dream. Like when I was telling you that when I had, for example, just today, when I was telling you about in a dream, about when I said that what I did, I broke a spell. In the normal sense, you wouldn't be aware of breaking a spell.
And it's the same now. You're hypnotized by your fears. You're hypnotized by whether or not you will get money for your apartment, which is not your apartment, so you can have food, which is not your food, but you get it from the earth and the sun. And when you realize that situation that you are in has been manipulated to be by people in so-called money power that knows that you if you have to pay a lot of rent, you will have to work a lot. So they increase the rent money so that you will have to work more on the industries that they have produced, that they have made, that is taking out small and medium business companies that would make your life more free. And they have also manipulated you to think that you need to buy cheap things, which would be much cheaper if those multinational companies didn't eradicate all the small and small and medium business companies. And also, they wouldn't be able to manipulate you if you on your own were företagsam, that you were able to do things. And those things you could exchange with other people. But they don't want you like that.
No. They want you dependent on the system. They want you to be...
They want you to sit in front of the telly so that they can give you their mind, their ways of looking at the world, so you don't have your own views, your own experiences based on your own senses, being somewhere, being in Palestine if you would want to go there, or wherever, China or wherever, and having... I went to Ireland, and now I have a bit of sense of Ireland. So I've been there with my eyes, with my body, with my whole being. Yes, and that is then documented in my CV.
Mm.
And now you want to go back to Senegal, Nigeria, not
Biafra.
Senegal.
Call it Biafra.
Yeah,
But
and
I just want to say quickly that we're talking about the human mind, and I just want to hop back to the fact that when people are sleeping, one thing I find kind of I don't, it's not funny, it's kind of strange, but they say that the brain is more active in a human being when the person is sleeping than when he's awake.
probably I have dreams that is 10 times more
Interesting.
real
Yeah.
interesting.
It says a lot.
Than this world.
It says it
I mean,
says
it doesn't have to be.
I know, but I mean, it says a lot about the human condition in what they call the waking state, if you can call it waking, because if your mind is more active when you're dreaming, when you're apparently your body's asleep. You understand what I mean?
Well, I think it's also been conditioned, because if you sit inside a cement wall with an irons going
Oh yeah,
all
of
over,
course.
it is a prison.
It is, yeah.
But it's a prison that you don't really see as a prison, because you don't see that you have to come back to it day after day after day after day after day, and you're afraid of losing it. It's just like someone who
It's like a parrot that's in a caged bird that doesn't want to. When you open
that
the
become
cage door, it doesn't want
depending
to come back.
on organization. There's a name for it. And it's only when you break away from it, of course it's going to be a lot of suffering, because you don't know in the beginning how you're going to survive.
Yeah.
You have to learn. It's like you have to learn how to walk again.
Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna take the car. Fuck it, I'm gonna get a car and drive down. I am. I want to.
It's almost 1 hour, so no one is going to ever follow all the way to the end. But okay, so thank you if you
Thanks for watching.